All right, so I had to take a quick little pause. I talked earlier about knowing your cardinal directions. Which way? Cardinal directions are north, south, east, and west. All right, so I was just going to zoom in on our school a little bit because I kind of know which way they are here. Oh, look, there's Hainesport Municipal Park. Look at this awesome park we have here. Like, we can really do a lot of things in this park. Like, a lot of space. People play soccer there. People do all kinds of things there, and it's really, really fun. Like, I can do things there, my kids can do things there. But what I want to talk to you about is which way north, south, east, and west are. So north is, if you, here's the school, right? Here's Broad Street. The buses, like, they drop off in here. Mom and dad drop you off, it's over here. And in the back, there's the gym. All right, here's the fields where we play outside. All right, probably know a couple of these places. You've probably been here and played. Maybe you live somewhere on this map. So what I was going to tell you is this way right here, this direction from the school. This is north. All right. So the opposite of north is south. So south is this way. All right, east. This is the way the sun is coming up on me now. Like, this side of my face has more light because the sun is coming this way. It's not up yet, but it's almost above the horizon. All right. So the sun sets this way to the west. There's a group of people that they don't say right hand or left hand. They would call your east hand and your west hand. And I think that's interesting because it's a whole different way to look at the world. Like, their whole language is different. They don't say in front of or behind. They say like north or south or east or west, depending on which way the line is. And if you were sitting at a kitchen table, right, in America, right, and you say raise your right hand, everybody put up the same hand. But if you were where these people are, okay, so they're Aborigines. They are in northern Australia. If you were at a dinner table with them and you said raise your right hand, they wouldn't know what you're talking about. They would, but if you said raise your north hand, everybody would raise the hand that's most to the north. All right. For me, I'm sitting east and west, so I should have used that example. So if they said raise your east hand, I would raise this one. I did wrong. This one. Try to look at the camera. This is my east hand. It's towards the east. And that's how they communicate. I think that's interesting because we always talk about languages. We're the center of it. This is in front of me. This is to my right. They use a universal method of describing locations of things. I think that's fascinating. I have this app up. All right, this is night sky. Let me get rid of my pictures. It's kind of in the way here. So I did something cool. Like last spring, I did this, and hey, there's something coming up pretty cool. Um, these are all the dates, right? This is for the ISS, the International Space Station, and where you can maybe see it in the night sky. So, we're like in here. These are okay. There's nothing wrong with these. Probably saying the best opportunity I think comes Friday night, although it's short. Saturday night, again, this is pretty good. A little bit of time. Sunday's got some good time. It might be a little early. It might not be totally dark yet. But I was looking at further down the line. Where is it? Here we go. 38 degrees above for 4 minutes. All right. I'm going to show you what this kind of looks like on a special app I have. All right. Um, I want to mention this too. There's this thing called light pollution. All right? Everywhere you look at the night sky. So, believe it or not, Hainesport is where right about in here. Right, we're somewhere in this spot. The night sky has light pollution. There's like lights from like roads and homes and stuff that kind of make our view of the sky not as good. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because there's not too many places around us that are really good. So like blue is a good color. So if you look like out in the ocean out here, it's pretty good night sky. This is all pretty good night sky. Here's off the coast. Closest place that I know of, I've been to two or three of these places where there's really good night sky. All right. So over here in like towards West Virginia and Virginia, there's good night sky. I was there last year and I could really see it really, really well. I went to Shenandoah National Park just as it opened, and there was only 20% of the people that normally show up were allowed to. So we had the whole place to ourselves, and we got great, great views of stars for like one night. The other nights it got cloudy. And then up here in this area, this is where I have a family reunion each year. And this is a bigger, rounder area. This is what they say is one of the best places on the East Coast. If you know your Pennsylvania, and it's kind of hard to see, like this is New Jersey, here's Cape May, here's Philadelphia, you can see that. all the way out here somewhere, that's State College. That's kind of like a city now. But if you go north of that about 2 hours or so, and these roads aren't straight, they're all curvy. So it's probably only about 60 miles, but you can't drive fast. So you have to drive way up here. And there's so many good stars like to see at night. You can actually see many satellites passing overhead, which is what the ISS is. Now, the ISS is a really big one, and you can see it really well. So this is what I was going to show you about that. I should show you this too. There was a rumor going around that there was going to be. I'll show you it later because I have the wrong page up. But there was a rumor going around that you could say, here it is. I have it right here. That this image is going to appear in the sky one night. All right, on May 16th. And I was assigning some of this stuff back when it happened. I was saying, hey, look at the night sky. It was false. And we found it was false by using the app that I'm going to show you right here, Stellarium. So one of the times and days was October 3rd at, now this is like military time. So it's tricky because every hour of the day, there's no 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. It's like 0700 or 1900. So 1900 is the time in the PM. You could tell it's dark. So this really, like the way you probably know time, this is like 7:44 p.m. And I was just going to show you how, looking to the west, right, here's west and here's north. Okay, so if you were at the school, you would be looking, or if you were, let's say, at the main office doors, you'd be kind of be facing north. All right. If you were facing north, your left hand would be towards the west side. You would be able to see the ISS come above the horizon. And I'll show you, this is, I can speed up the time here a little bit. So every minute it gets a little higher and a little brighter. And it'll be in view for not that long, really like probably 3 or 4 minutes, I think it said. All right, but that's a pretty good one. You'll be able to see the ISS. It'll be bright and it'll be moving really quick. It'll be moving quicker than an airplane would look to you. So if I ever want to see this again, all I really have to do is look for the date and the time. So October 8th at 7:04. Right? I go back here and I adjust this to October 8th. And what was the time? Was it 7:04? October 8th, 7:04 p.m. And by that time, it's going to be a little darker out. So I got to go way back. 7:04. Now, if you can't find something or it looks tricky, I'll show you a little trick here. So I'm trying to find the ISS. It's right there, but if it wasn't there, all you really have to do is type in ISS, and it'll show up first. It'll take you to it. So if I did something else, let's just say I said, I don't know, Mercury, a planet. I go on there and I click it, and it'll show me where it is in the night sky. It's below the horizon. So, but I want to show you the ISS on this day that we're looking at. Click on it. So it's going to be in the sky, and it might be a little easier to see at this date. All right, because it's going to get a little higher up in the sky. And I just think it's neat that we can take and get the information and look into the sky, and we can see like people who are floating in space doing like scientific experiments, like working on space. I think that's a really neat thing. So, and of course, it goes down to because it's orbiting the Earth, it's going round and round and round. If you want to see this, I'm going to show you how we check this out, and my son and I debunked this. All right, so on May 16th, you're supposed to be able to see a smiley face like that in the sky. Like these were planets. What was it? The moon, crescent moon, and Jupiter and Venus were supposed to be seen. So what I did is I took that May 16th date, I went into here, and I adjusted the day and the time to May 16th. All right. And then I started looking at the sky. Now, obviously, you want it to be dark out when you're looking. Why is it dark? Oh, it's not dark out because the time of day is different. It's not dark out until later in the day. So it was, remind me of these planets again. I only got to keep track of a couple of them. I can't remember them. It was the Jupiter and Venus. Okay, so we're looking at this. I didn't see it. Here's Venus. Okay, well, okay, that's good. I got one planet. But as the night goes on, right, Venus goes kind of below. And where's it? All right, there's Mercury, there's Venus over there. Where is the rest of it? And I couldn't find it. And then I was like, well, maybe, maybe it was a misprint. Maybe they meant like in the morning. But I'll do it hour by hour. And you can kind of see, oh, there's Jupiter. Okay, there's Saturn. Where's the moon in relationship to that? And the truth is, like, it never forms. It never made a smiley face in the sky. And we didn't even, my son and I, who were really into this at the time, we didn't even go out and check because you can see here's a crescent moon. All right, here's Jupiter. Does any of that look like a smiley face? And now it's like 4 in the morning. Um, I think it was a hoax. And I think the people who were doing it maybe thought it'd be funny to make people wake up in the morning and look at the sky, but we knew it was a hoax because we saw where Jupiter was and we couldn't find Venus or any other planet that might make it look like a smiley face. Now, if one of them, let me zoom in on the moon, say the moon was here and a planet was where this O is and over here, that would look like a smiley face. And that'd be actually be kind of cool to see. But we know that Jupiter's way up here. Venus isn't, is Venus even on here right now? Let's say Venus. Spelled it wrong. Venus, there we go. Venus is below the horizon. So here's the Earth right here. It's underneath because Earth is going to rotate. And if I don't know if it will do this, but as time goes by, Venus actually pops up. It's hard to see now, but Venus is in the sky during the day. The times didn't match. So we knew that somebody was playing a joke in our house. But I do encourage you to check out this International Space Station. And it's really fun to see. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I will see you all next week for class. Much aloha.